Hello students, welcome back to the next video of English Literature Hornbill. Lesson 3rd. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together by Gordon Cook and Ellen H. I am Rajesh Kumar Singh from Divine Public School, Monapur, Gorakhpur. Students, let's see the paragraph 10. Water, water everywhere. I could feel that the ship had water below, but I dared not abandon the wheel to investigate. Suddenly the front hatch was thrown open and Mary appeared. We are sinking, she screamed. The decks are smashed. We are full of water. Take the wheel, I shouted as I scrambled for the hatch. Larry and Hub were pumping like madmen. Broken timbers hung at crazy angles. The whole starboard side bulged inwards. Cloth, crockery, chairs, tins, and tires slashed about in deep water. Students, let's see some new words in this paragraph as hatch. Hatch, when it is used as a verb, means as a means giving warmth to the eggs by a bird to ripen it, and when somebody makes plans as has a plan or has a deal or plot, etc., means in that condition to form a plot or conspiracy, etc., secretly. That is also called hatch. But here the meaning of hatch as a noun, and it means a door. Okay, and this hatch is used in the reference of ship, means a hole in a ship or an aircraft used for loading goods or goods, and the door that covers it. Did you understand? A hole in a ship or aircraft through which goods are often loaded in the aircraft or ship. And the meaning of hatch is door also. As in ships, sometimes there is a door and the door is covered with door cloths. And sometimes there is a common door which leads from one room to next room. That is also called hatch. For example, a hatch between the kitchen and the dining room. Concept clear? A hatch between the kitchen and the dining room means this door leads a person from kitchen to dining room. This is also hatch. The use of the words determine the meaning of the words, and here the meaning of hatch is door. Okay. Now second word, scramble. Scramble means a climb in which you have to take help of your hands. On small climbs, we climb the things or the mountains or the hills on our legs, but when we take the support of our hands to climb the hills or mountains or other things just like monkeys do, in that condition that is called scramble. Okay, and next situation is also scramble, when in which people compete with each, push each other in order to get what they want. Okay, people start to push each other in order to get what they want. That is also called scramble. अगर अपने नेटिव लैंग्वेज में देखो, if you want to see the things in native language, you can say people start to take the things very fast, just as मानो लूट मची हो, लूटना जिसको कहते हैं. In this way, there is meaning of scramble also. Or there is also situation when we board in bus or trains, and in that conditions you see a scramble for the best seats, boarding in the bus or train. Concept is clear. I think the concept of scramble must be clear to you. When there is boarding in bus or train, people scramble for the best seat in the boarding train. This is also scramble, as mad scramble. Also this is, for example, it was a mad scramble trying to get things ready in time. People don't mind the things. They use like mad people complete to things in time, not minding whether the things are correct or incorrect. Then you can say this condition is a mad scrambling or mad scramble. And next word, sloshed about. Sloshed about, overweight and approximately floating in water. Or overweight or damp part of the land. In Hindi, as you can understand by sealan. Though the water does not appear directly, but due to the presence of water in land, the things become damp. This is also sloshed about, and due to presence of water everywhere in the sea, the things got sloshed about everywhere. Okay, now let's see the explanation of the paragraph. The strong gales had upheaved the ship and brought it under the verge of sinking. The author was injured badly and was unable to move from the wheel. The waves had brought water in the ship. The ship was floating on the water and the things were floating in the ship. Okay? There was water outside on which the ship was floating, and there was water inside the ship in which the things, the debris of the ship were floating. Okay? Seeing the condition of the perilled ship, he recalls the lines of ancient marine by H.T. Coleridge. Water, water everywhere, and all the boats did sink. Water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink. Such situations had been created by the rough weather in the ocean. Water was in the ship, but the author had not courage enough to leave the wheel to investigate the things. Suddenly, the front door was thrown open, and Mary, the author's wife, came in. Means in the cabin where the author was. She spoke abruptly in screaming voice that they were sinking. She told him that the decks, that is, the roofs of the ship, were broken and the ship was full of water. The injured narrator got some courage, and after having restored all his energy, he got up. He told his wife loudly to take the steering wheel, while he scrambled, that is, searched for the cabin's door, that is, hatch. Through the adjoining door, he reached in and saw Larry and Herb were pumping water out of the ship like madmen. Who are the Larry and Herb? The experienced sailor whom he had hired in South Africa before the starting their CYs. Okay? Now they were pumping out water like madmen. Broken timbers were hung at different angles. The whole starboard, that is the sides of the ship, were swollen from outward to inside. It means the strong waves attacked the ship very violently, which made the ship bulge inside. The cloth, crockery, chairs, tins, toys, all damped due to water all around in the deep water of the ship. Students, see paragraph 11. Reading. I half swam, half crawled into the children's cabins. Are you all right? I asked. Yes, they answered from an upper bunk, but my head hurts a bit, said Sue, pointing to a big bump above her eyes. I had no time to worry about bumped heads. After finding a hammer, screws, and canvas, I struggled back on deck with the starboard side bashed open. We were taking water with each wave that broke over us. If I couldn't make some repairs, we would surely sink. Students, see some explanation of the words used here. Bunk. Bunk means a narrow bed that is fixed to the wall. For example, on a train or a ship. Concept is clear? On a train, in a train or in a ship, you have bunk. The beds are by the windows or from above one another. All those beds are bunks. As you can say, bunk beds means two beds that are fixed together. From this word bunk, the word bunker is made. And bunker, strongly built shelter for the soldiers. Strongly built shelter for the soldiers, that is bunker. So I think you might have command over these two words, bunk and bunkers. Okay? Bash. Bash means to hit someone or something very hard in a way that causes pain or damage. That is called bash. When you hit someone or something, especially someone, and the hit causes pain, in that conditions, that is bash. And in a simple words, noun, a hard, strong hit is called bashed. Okay? For example, Mohan bashed Sohan and he became unconscious. That is the use of word bash. Bump, to hit or knock against something, that is called bump. For example, it was so dark that I bumped into a tree. Concept is clear? Bump means it was so dark that I bumped into a tree. अंधेरा बहुत था और मैं पेड़ से टकरा गया. Okay, now let's see explanation of this paragraph. When Mary, wife of the narrator, informed him about the ship sinking screamingly by the strong gales, the author got his conscience back. He recalled his all powers and dispersed energy and set to struggle for their existence. The ship was filled with water due to cracks and holes made by the strong gales. The author reached to the children's cabin by half swimming and half crawling in the ship's water. Okay? Here is a wonderful scene. The water was out on which the ship was floating. The water is in which the author is crawling and swimming. He asked, after reaching or having reached to the children's cabin, he asked them whether they were all right. The children answered him affirmatives positively from the upper bed of the ship, that is bunk, from their bunk. But the daughter Sue pointed above her eyes to a big bump, causing swelling, said that her head aches a bit. The author had no time to worry about the heat or knocks against anything in that perilous conditions. He scrambled, that is, searched for something useful. After finding a hammer, cruise, and after finding a hammer, some screws, and canvas, the author struggled back on deck. Due to hard, strong heat of the sea waves, the starboard side had been opened. The ship was receiving water in through every wave that broke over the ship. The author struggled with his hammer and other tools to repair the deck and starboard. And if he could not make some repairs, they would surely sink in the sea. Students, let's come on the next paragraph, starting from somehow I managed to the main anchor. Two small paragraphs has been joined together to make a big paragraph. Okay, on page number 15 of Hornbill from original books. Okay. Now, let's see reading. Somehow, I managed to stretch canvas and secure waterproof hatch covers across the gaping holes. Some water continued to stream below, but most of it was now being deflected over the side. More problems arose when our hand pumps started to block up with the debris floating around the cabins and the electric pump short circuited. The water level rose threateningly. Back on deck, I found that our two spare hand pumps had been arranged overboard, along with the four-stage sail, the jib, the dinghies, and the main anchor. Now, let's see some words from this paragraph. New words as deflection, deflected. The word deflected is made of the root word deflection, that is noun, means the action of making something change its direction. When the action that makes change in the direction, and when it is verb, then to turn in a different direction, especially after hitting something else. Right? Sometimes people avoid to deflect the mind of others, especially by the politicians. If the politician want to change the mood of the common people, if they want to, then they deflect their mind from one point to next point, so that the people may forget the main problems. That is also deflect. Clear? Now, next point, next word, debris, means all the pieces that are left after an accident or explosion in a ship or in aircraft, or even the bus when they meet accidents. Okay, that is called debris. In our native language, this is used as malwa, but I think there is no requirement of using such type of other things, other language to make it clear. All the pieces that are left over and after an accident or explosion, bomb explosions, those things are known as debris. Next word is dinghy. Next word is dinghy. This word dinghy is often used in native language just as dinghy boats. Dinghy. Huh? Fortunately or unfortunately, in Indian languages, Bhojpuri is just such language. It has absorbed many words in its many English words in some astray, some deflection it has absorbed as dinghies. Dinghies means small open sailing boats used especially for racing. Such boats are also used for fishing in the lakes and small rivers, that is dinghies. Here some dinghies are kept in the big ships to rescue the life of the passengers, that is dinghies. Clear? Next point, I would there is no other words, and if you find after meeting you can get the explanation on behalf of myself. I think most of the words are clear to you. Now let's see its explanation. Paragraph 12. Now the author worked hard to repair the deck and starboard to stop the water coming in by every wave. Anyway, he was able to manage to spread canvas and secure waterproof door covers across the gaping holes. Through these holes, water was filling in the ship. In spite of holes blocked by waterproof door covers, some water continued to stream, that is leak below, but most of it was turned into different directions after hitting the ship. As the other experienced sailors were pumping the water out like madmen, other problems took place. At that moment, the big problem arose when their hand pump started to block up with the debris, that is the broken piece of the ship's parts, which were floating around the cabins, and the electric pumps stopped working due to short circuit. The water level was rising dangerously. It was frightful to see the increasing water level in the ship. To make the sense clear, you can see the water filling scene in the ship in the movie Titanic. Okay, which is a dreadful sinking ship disaster. In his fight to ship sinking, the author back on deck, he found that their two spare hand pumps had been lying ranged overboard along with the mainsail, the jib, the dinghies, boats, and the main anchor. Students, let's see the next paragraph starting from then I remembered to the of the world. Okay, small paragraph of 3 lines and 3 lines, 4 lines. I have made one paragraph. Let's see its reading. Then I remembered we had another electric pump under the chart room floor. I connected it to an out pipe and was thankful to find that it worked. The night dragged on with an endless, bitterly cold routine of pumping, steering, and working the radio. We were getting no replies to our Mayday calls, which was not surprising in this remote corner of the world. Now, let's the explanation of the word, few words as Mayday. Mayday, this is a radio signal used to ask for help when a ship or plane is in serious danger. This is called Mayday. Let's have its explanation. As the author struggled for the existence for their lives and the ship, he found two spare hand pumps lying overboard of the ship, made him to remember about another electric pump under the chart room floor. He rushed there and found it. He connected the pump to an outpipe and he was thankful to it as the pump was working. The author, along with his crewmen, spent the frightful night anyhow, in extremely cold, that is, uninteresting routine of pumping water out, steering and working on the radio to have connection with the other part of the world. They tried to establish connection on radios, but they did not receive any response from the outer world. In author's opinion, it was not surprising if they were unable to have any response on radio because the ship was at the remote corner of the world. Some evaluation questions. Why did the author not dare to abandon the wheel to investigate? Why was Mary screaming at the author? How did the author reach to the children's cabin and why? Next question. What would happen if the narrator could not repair the ship? How did they spend the night? Remaining paragraph we will see in next video. Students, I hope you are doing better. In the third paragraph, thanks, you will see again in the next video.